Hello, and in this video I want to do a best and worst kind of endings of anime, and so it might go long. There are spoilers, so if you haven't seen these animes, here's your warning. I'm going to spoil them. So to start off with this list, I'm going to start off with the worst. And there's no particular order in how I'm ranking these or anything. There's no ranking orders. Just whatever comes to my mind, I guess. But one being Karis the Revelation being one of the worst endings that I have seen. Uh, and it's because it's forgettable, mainly because I barely remember it. I just remember a very prissy fight between Karis and the other guy. Yeah, that fight scene was pretty cool, but it was just the ending just kind of felt like I was gonna go to sleep. So that's really how I feel about that ending. Um, Another bad ending is G Gundam. I like G Gundam as an anime. I do. It's a really fun, anime. I don't really care for Gundam Wing or any of the other Gundam animes because I don't find people sitting in cockpits pushing buttons to be very fun. While G Gundam is just the actual pilot's actually freaking fighting. So that's cool. But the ending is probably very disappointing to me. And I get that G Gundam's theme is love and romance and blah blah blah. I get that, but G Gundam's main issue is that it built up this character, this Dark Gundam. They built this thing up in the entire show, making it sound as if it's Satan in Gundam form or whatever. And I was all on board for it, and it was great. But God, that ending was just the biggest slap in the face. So, the main character, Domon, is going into the Dark Gundam to save his girlfriend, Rain, who happens to be powering the Dark Gundam at this point. And he learns by the time when he sees her there that she is one with the Dark Gundam. So, in order to save the universe, you have to kill the Dark Gundam, which will in turn kill his girlfriend, Rain. He felt conflicted naturally, but instead of just cleverly trying to find a clever way or anything, it's spent him thinking as to, oh, why is Rain ignoring me? Why does she want me here? And it's also never explained how it's how the Dark Gundam's working per se. Uh, I mean, it's just like, yeah, she has negative feelings, but it just made her sound as if Rain was okay with putting the universe in jeopardy because her boyfriend didn't tell her he loved her and she felt guilty. So I guess in her mind it's okay to put the whole universe in chaos, but putting one person in chaos, whoa man, one versus the many. But yeah, it was just weird. And it almost kind of made Rain come off as a bitch. Um, but yeah, whatever it is, I thought them ending with Domon telling his girlfriend that he loves her, and then she just breaks free out of the Dark Gundam to be extremely cheap, lazy, and just kind of, oh, we need to wrap up this anime. Well, how are we gonna save Rain? Oh, love. Okay, and it's just really like that's what does it. I mean, if because like to me she could have that ignoring the fact that he said I love you, to me she could have broken out there at any time. She just decided not to. So yeah, Rain, putting your knees in front of the universe, that's the true thing to do when you're in that situation. Another bad ending is Casher and Sins, and my God, let me tell you, it is the most. Even when I watch it from the beginning, I get disappointed or depressed already. The ending is just so. It doesn't give you any form of payoff. It was as if the creators were like making bets on how can we make an ending that doesn't give anything to anyone. Some of the deaths, yeah, were dramatic and were sad, and and I got like generally sad and about some of the deaths. But my God, it's just like they built up this fight scene between Luna and Casshern probably so high, by the end of the series, they were just like, building up this conflict. And, he fights an entire army, kills, the general of that army, faces Luna, and instead of killing her as I was expecting him to do or anything, he just told her, "Hey man, you can do whatever you want. If you want to heal people, hey man, that's cool, but make sure they know death is around." And it's just I sat there and was like, so everything before this point was pointless then, because ultimately things won't change because if she's still gonna do it, she's no robot's gonna be like, well, I like death. I'm gonna stick with that. So it's just like, and so I kind of disagreed with it. I get the message that they were trying to say, but the ending just kind of dropped it. I mean, if you're gonna have this message, I think the ending has to do something. I mean, something either has to be lost or or anything or something. I mean, because I don't know. It's just the ending just kind of fell short of what the message wanted to be. So that's why Catcher Instance is the worst. It's one of the worst. Don't Let Cry's anime is also another bad ending. It didn't really do anything. It built up this final boss that was weak and stupid. I had repeating animation, and I just thought, as a whole, it wasn't very satisfying for a fight scene. Even and the final fight between Dante and some demon or whatever was cut short, and it wasn't even animated, and it was just like, really, you're just gonna it was a cop out for a fight scene. It was a cop out. So that's the problem I have with that anime. And another bad one is Claymore. I really enjoyed Claymore for what it was, but my god, it should have not. The anime either shouldn't have existed or should continue to exist because it ended on a big cliffhanger, and it was like, well, we're never gonna do this show again. And every single person's like, well, the manga's still going. Just read the manga, and it's like, well, that defeats the purpose of the anime then, because I don't know what issue to start on after the anime, and naturally animes usually take things out from the manga, so I have to start from the beginning of the manga. So really, the anime is the biggest waste of time there is. So I don't know why they even bothered. If unless the anime and manga are both exactly the same, but I doubt it. So I kind of thought the ending of Claymore was this kind of a bullshit ending, and it made the whole series questionable. I mean, like, look at Naruto. The manga's still going, and so is the anime. They're still doing it. I mean, yeah, it's popular, but my god, either do an anime or don't. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. So that's it for the worst. We're done. We're out of the clearing. And let's start with my favorite endings in anime. The ones that are good. And I'm going to start off with Elfen Lied. And yeah, I did, complain how Claymore ended while the manga's still going on and all that. Because Elfen Lied ended as the manga, I think, was either still going on or wrapping up at some point. And yeah, Elfen Lied was supposed to have a second season that never, got produced because no one watched the show. But Elfen Lied had a good ending though. It at least gave you a form of closure and just a sense of, I'm okay with not, waiting for the second season. At least I got something to sit on. So that's why I like the ending. They even wrapped up the because the one thing that I was also hoping that Elfen Lied would do was finally have the talk between Lucy and that guy. I can't remember his name. Because they kept teasing, oh well, Lucy, built another personality to combat this guy and stuff like that. And it was like, okay, well, and this guy is just blocked out his past. So I was like, okay, well, it's gonna be cool when they're gonna talk and it's Lucy gonna be like, yeah, I killed your family, and he's gonna remember it, and they're gonna have that awesome talk, and they do have that awesome talk, and they work things over, and feels were had, and for the first time, the English dub was superior to the Japanese wording, whatever. But I'll cover that in another video. I covered that in another video, a week ago or something. So yeah, Elfen Lied, good ending. I talked about that already. Another one is Cowboy Bebop. That ending was really, really good. I mean, it was no words can describe it. I loved the dialogue between Faye and Faye and Spike. That was really good. It was really well done, and I felt something for Faye, and I kind of hated Spike for leaving her because it was like, oh, come on. But he had to leave, and that was also understandable as well. But it was just still kind of like, oh. Uh, but yeah, it had a good ending, and I liked it. The art was pretty cool. The final fight was very climactic. Everything about the ending was great. I mean, come on. Another good ending is, and I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of flack or a lot of hate for this, but the Samurai Champloo ending I thought was good. I'm sorry if you disagree with me or whatever. I think it was a good ending. I know, like two people and that I meet that tell me the same thing. It is anticlimactic. It's boring. It's stupid. It's what have you. But I didn't think it was anticlimactic because the ending was split into 3 episodes. So so to me, naturally, the last episode is just going to be, it's gonna have the least amount of action. I was kind of expecting that since it's a 3-parter, and it had enough action in it that kind of surprised me. And it ended nicely, where Fu didn't get her revenge, and the way that she didn't get her revenge, I thought was very kind of poetic for how she didn't get it, and or was like ironic, or it was really cool that she didn't get her revenge. Because I think it was important for that character not to. Because I think if she got that revenge, it would just kind of be like, oh, I mean, it would be cool, but it would be at the same time kind of like, oh, okay. So her not getting her revenge was awesome. The fight scenes between Mugen and his old comrades was awesome. Same with Jean and that assassin. The only complaint with the Mugen thing is he really should have died. I mean, he was right up, he was like right next to the explosion. He was in the center of it. And then he was able to come out of it alive. I have issues with that kind of ending. I mean, when you explode, when you're like right in the middle of a bomb, you're not gonna have a body. You're not. Sorry, you're not gonna have a body. So that's my only complaint I have with the ending. But overall, I liked it because it kind of satisfied me and it was nice. It's a nice ending. Um, Another good ending is Fooly Cooly. I watched that series recently. I'm gonna do a spoilers video on it, so stay tuned, and I'll talk about the ending in that video. But yeah, Fooly Cooly's on that list. So thanks for watching, and if it's over 10 minutes, I'm sorry.